This
one nation
conference will now be recorded.
with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so minutes from the November 6th meeting. Any changes or additions or corrections to those?
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. The agenda, any changes to that?
No.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. And conflicts, anybody?
None here. None here. None. Nope.
Okay, none. The number 2 plats for Castle Keating and Tommy Gun LLC.
Okay, the leave report was provided to you guys. So we usually put that in there right at the beginning. The first plat is 2025-89. And this one, I'm not gonna read all of this, but basically what it comes down to is roads are pretty well gravelled. The zoning is park forest, and it's the requirements of that zoning district. It's a lot line revision between parcels. County Highway Superintendent, John Day provided, he had copies of the as-built. He provided a report with grading issue, which exceeds the maximum allowed 10%. We had kind of talked about this last month, but he did give you a full report on that. The road leads to the cul-de-sac with the grade reaching spot of 15.3% at the most. The length of the road to the cul-de-sac length is shown as 1,400 feet, with the maximum length for this area being 800. So there is also as-built, county highway report, and the erosion control, which is all included in the packet. Existing homes, there's already existing homes on DJ 2AR and DJ 3. There's a septic system, utilities, and shared well. 2A and lot 4 have never been platted before. These will have water provided by the Deer Mountain Sanitary District. I'm just kind of reaching the big points here. So if you keep going through that, the fire plan is in place and has been mitigated. We do have a letter to say that. So the question here is an exception request for the county commission's consideration. We usually have you guys look at those, even though they do have to go to the commission. The owner is requesting approval of the cul-de-sac length due to there being other means of access, which would allow for emergency vehicles to have a turnaround point at the tank lot, among other platted lots that are connected within the development. They are also requesting approval of the road grade to the cul-de-sac as it exceeds the maximum grade allowed. John Day would be recommended that there be postings expressing that the property is served by a road containing grades that make it inaccessible to emergency services and under certain weather or road conditions, depending. That was one of his suggestions. Staff recommends approval of the preliminary plat and the final plat with the condition of the final plat not to be recorded until the following conditions are met, or an engineered cost estimate to complete is done and secured with a letter of credit and memorandum of agreement. The first one is the cul-de-sac exception. And the second one is, I know we were close on this, I don't know what's, you can go through it, Randy, but the final signed sanitary district agreement, they were working on the annexation, and I think that was in front of the commission
Last week. Yeah, we approved it last week.
The other thing was the installation of the water system from the Deer Mountain Sanitary District. Again, they were working on that. The completion of the secondary emergency access easement, and then the engineered cost estimates, which I know that she was contacted about those things, but we suggested that until we know what you guys are gonna do here, we didn't want to have them go and redo the letter of credit again. Let's just kind of do it all together. So that was what this was. Anything else, Randy?
Yeah, if I may. I'm going to talk to the exceptions a little bit. I want to give a little background. We're creating one new lot. 3 lots existed out here. So we're reconfiguring 3 lots and adding to one of those 3 lots to make it larger. And then we're creating one new lot. So just to be clear. And we had to make those lots bigger to get to the 20 acres to get the 5-acre average. Okay, so we're making one new lot, which is 2A. 4 includes track 2 plus a portion of the Deer Mountain. So 2 of those lots have water and sewer, but they lost their access to the BLM. One of the lots never had a permit from the BLM, where they came off off Terry Peak Summit Road to the lots. So what happened is the landowners got together because they all know each other very well. And they said, let's build a road that comes in across the private ground so we don't have to deal with permitting with the federal government anymore. That's what prompted a lot of this plat, and the new lot is to help pay for that road. The road has steep grades, and from the cul-de-sac, the easement goes to lot 4, and the road is built clear down into lot 5 and 6, which is on one of the exhibits on the exceptions. And that road is going to have dual use. It's an emergency ingress and egress, and it also gives the sanitary district access to their water line in 2 locations. Their main 2 water lines. They have 2 primary water lines that go up to the tank to fill the tank, and one comes down and distributes the water to all the lots. So it gives them dual access to that, and it gives them another access to the tank other than just off Terry Peak Summit. So there's some value in that, and that road is complete. The water system, to my knowledge, is either complete today or will be complete by the end of the week. The discussion is that lot 4 is going to have pressure issues, so we're deciding whether we need to put a pump in to give it water. It's very important to note that we're only doing potable water to these 3 existing lots. And we're doing the potable water because their well has a low production rate. Track 2 did not have water and had an access going out to the south, so it resolves their access issue too. But they're getting potable water like you get from a like Butte Mead. So it's not going to have the hydrants, and that's part of this water design. The pressure to 4, we may have to put a small booster pump in, and that would be the only item that would be bonded. The rest will be complete. And with the exception for the length of the cul-de-sac, we put an alternative ingress, egress out and in, and that connects to the main road system down below. So that's kind of in a nutshell what we're doing. Also, the 3 lots, since it's a lot line revision, are exempt from a fire plan, although 2 of them have had the fire plan. 2, the new lot 2A and part of 4 have already had the fire plan executed from the Deer Mountain side. So I think I covered some loose ends there.
So just a question, you said it's all potable water because of pressure issues. So are there fire hydrants, or do we need fire? Isn't there requirements for fire mitigation? And
Well,
water requirements?
2A has a hydrant right by it, if I may stand up here and point. On the design, there's a hydrant like right here with the 1,200 gallons in it.
Okay.
2A is the new lot. The old lots had a shared well right about down here. And they have a little pump that pumps it up to the houses because the houses are higher. So what we're doing is replacing that water source with an alternative source because this one's not very reliable. So that's why we're proposing just potable water to those 3 lots. Putting that much water line in for 3 lots just isn't feasible. And AE2S did the design, and they are with the sanitary district. They're their engineer. So they've approved just potable water.
So does that fit in with our ordinance?
Well, there's some language in the ordinance that says if you're on, if you have a water system, it has to meet this fire code.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the one you're talking about.
Yep.
And so that's why we talk about that. These are, when I proposed the sketch plat, we were only doing potable water in these lots. So that's how that was proposed.
Is that okay?
So I'm not making the connection then.
Okay,
If it's just potable water.
Yep.
And there's not enough pressure, that's not enough for fire.
it's not gonna have fire protection to those 3 lots.
And.
Yep.
And that.
3
complies with
existing,
our ordinance, though?
3. Well,
So how does that, I guess I'm not, it doesn't seem like that.
well, let's talk about the alternative.
Mhm.
We could come in and just refigure those 3 lots. So we don't have to meet that criteria.
Mhm.
Okay. So we're offering a better solution.
What do you mean by refiguring?
We could bring in this lot, and this lot that already exists, and we could move the internal lot lines and add to them. We wouldn't have to put in water. We could do it well and have a well. We're just offering them a different source.
So these are existing lots.
Yeah.
So they could do a lot line change, and you
Yeah.
guys can't require anything.
Sure,
Or
yep.
they can leave the well in existence and also provide another source.
Yeah, so we put a curb stop here, and here, and here, and then there's 1 to 2A. So all of them have the ability to get onto this water system for potable water, but not fire protection.
Mhm.
This one is not far away for fire protection, but it's tough terrain.
Mhm.
Mr. Chairman.
Mhm.
Randy, any of these easements, are they gonna go on to the Terry Peak Summit Road? And if so, are you gonna need approach permits for any of these?
It does go on if you go to the top of this, and we already have an approach permit.
Where do you-
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to talk about, and while you think about that question, John Bay went to a seminar by LTAP, and they're using a lot of this signage that he's recommending in other areas, like in Custer County, where it's real steep. And so I think it's a great idea. We just don't have availability of the signs yet, but I think that putting a sign up there, making the public aware is a good practice.
And that's the sign that emergency vehicles can't go.
Yeah, it may not, yeah,
May
the
not.
one he
Mhm.
recommended, and that was from an LTAP presentation that he went to.
But I assume that's the point of our grade ordinance, isn't it? Of being 10%. So the emergency vehicles can get up there.
Yeah, and actually the ordinance says small stretches is 12 to 14.
Mhm.
Yeah, but 10%, anything over 10% is standard.
What is the distance from the existing hydrant to the last lot there?
To this lot,
Yeah,
let's see, 12 to 1,500 feet. Yeah, there's a hump in the middle right in here that we're trying to get over. That's the high point. And the tanks were located by elevation to service the entire sanitary district. So they were critical locations for elevations. So they wouldn't have so many reduction valves.
Where is the steep part of the road there? Is that where that hump is?
I'd have to, do you have no, it's, the part we're getting approved is before the cul-de-sac,
Okay,
because it's the driveway coming down.
so it's up on the north end.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, the ones with the as-bills.
All the as-bills are
Can you bring them up?
there.
Is there a copy?
As-bill should be, is it that one right there?
Is it with the set? Yeah, I think.
That's the right one. Should be.
So here's the cul-de-sac at 14 plus 40, and the 15% is about 400 feet to the north of that.
This way.
Okay. That's the area. And you'll see that those are fairly short stretches there. There's a 12.09, a 13.92, then it goes to 15.1 for a little, about 100 feet, 14 and a half for about 100 feet.
So how many lots would have to use that part of the road for access?
All of
All of
these four.
So is that stretch there on the,
So it's
Right there.
right about up in there. where that
It's
arrow
at the
is.
top of that.
Yeah. And this was the permit that the BLM is not offering. That was their old access. This is public land to about here, and then the nearest highway is, or nearest road is the highway to the south. So this track 2 plat was approved with a access easement going to the south that doesn't have a road built on it.
I didn't see where you pointed when you said it was their old BLM access.
This one right here
That
goes
one,
away, went away. It came out to Terry Peak Summit Road.
And the dirt road for escape is just kind of the bottom. right
Continues
hand.
here, it's
Right
on
there,
one of your
yeah.
maps.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it goes down and hits the road system. And that's built.
Randy, are you asking for 2 exemptions then? One?
We're talking for exceptions on the cul-de-sac length, the grading, and if we need to on the water.
Hydrants.
Well, on that we're only offering potable water to the 3 existing lots. That's how I would work that.
And
That's
keep-
the 3 exceptions.
Keep in mind, it took us a while to figure this out. You guys had already approved the original fire plan that was associated with those original lots. It's already been approved and done, and it did not meet that, because the standards changed.
Okay, so that's off the
kind
table.
of a, well, you're adding a lot,
And that has
In this.
mitigation.
but it has that. So that'd be the only thing, is the old stuff was already there, that new lot in theory, it still has a fire plan, it's just not gonna be exactly. If that's the best way, it still has it because you're adding, you have that road that goes all the way out now, which we didn't have before.
Yeah, it's not a question of can they escape. at this
Yeah.
point. It's a question of can they put the fire out
And,
and can anybody else get there?
and since
Fire-
this
mitigate
old
fire
lot
prevention.
still had that route out to Cherry Peak Summit Road, which they do not have anymore.
Mhm.
So they're kind of giving an alternative.
Would the dirt escape road be suitable for emergency personnel?
I would say most of the time of the year, yes.
Mhm.
Because it's downhill. Would be one way to say.
Mhm. So if they go down the hill, they need to make sure they put the fire out because they can't get back up.
Well, I'm not gonna say that winter isn't a high fire time with deep snow. That's always a tough to fight.
It is, we have more fires in the winter than.
A
there is in
structure
summer.
fire is real hard to fight.
It is, yep.
But in the time that we have wildfires,
Mhm.
these roads there's multiple roads up there because you can also drive on the Groom connecting trails.
Hmm.
So in this case, you have a lot of different options for wildfire mitigation that you wouldn't have in some subdivisions.
Yep. Hmm.
Well, and this probably wouldn't have got started if they had had that other access available.
That's unfortunate. That
Yeah.
worked out.
And just so we're clear, this lot never had access in the eyes of the BLM. Only the first lot did. And they subdivided it, they still had the permit. But when we talked to the BLM, said that's, first of all, you have to get it every time you buy and sell the property. Second of all, just because you made another lot doesn't mean they have permission to use this. So it's much better for the title to have other access, not a permit.
For all four lots.
For any lot, yes.
Okay. So do we actually need to do an exemption? Because the new lot needs to have an exemption or a fire plan, right?
Well, you're creating new lots and a lot line revision, so we would say that you exempt the remaining lots. And the fire plan has already been completed for A, if you go back to what that one came out with.
And it took some of the other lot too, but most of it is in A.
So you're exempting that new lot, basically.
Lot 4 is the new lot or lot 2?
Lot 2A,
Lot 2A is the new one.
the one that has the hydrant.
Yes.
is the new lot.
Lot 2A. Second. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Okay, motion carried. Now we have the approval or denial of preliminary and final plat. So the exceptions,
There's a memo too for everybody.
yeah, I've always wondered why we care how long a cul-de-sac is anyway.
It's a very good point. I've never figured out that problem. There's more snow removal, so,
No, the county's not doing that anyway.
no, that's right.
So staff recommends approval with conditions of the exception being approved for the cold section and the exception being approved for the road grade. That's the two exceptions. The suggestion would be that you follow John Bay's signage, what he's requesting for signage to be put out. So that's kind of that two parts. So you have two exceptions plus having them put that signage in place. And then we would not record anything until we have those signed documents, because we knew they were right in between getting everything, but we would have to have those signed documents and they'd have to be recorded. Well, they may not all have to be recorded, but we'd have to have them.
I would ask that on the signage, since we haven't done it before, we need to get those made, that they might not hold up the process, but they could hold up any building permits. Because I don't know if we can get the signs in time to file that this year. The rest will be in place.
Yeah, how that works.
You'll have to
It's
get,
John Bay's
you'll have to
suggestion.
get creative and get some paint.
Yeah.
Is that the
we could
language
do
there?
that.
The property is served by a road.
Yes. Yeah.
I would probably make it clear and say that John Day has to approve the signage. Because he's the one that has specific, like what he
There you
wants
go.
it to say.
Prior to the issuance of any building permits.
I think that's a fair way to do it, and, you know, we want to get it done as soon as possible, the signage, but can we get it in time? We could put up a temporary with that language on it that's not manufactured, would be Plan B.
I'm hoping the people involved are creative enough to make a sign.
Mr. Chairman, I don't know if this matters, but are you coordinating with John on the signage, or are you gonna use him to order them, or is that a non-issue for today's purposes?
We would have to pay for it, so we can, whatever it
I
takes.
think John wants it to be whatever the
Yeah,
sign.
reflectivity, you
Yeah,
know.
reflectivity.
The final signs would, that's,
Yeah.
I didn't want something that,
So motion would
It's
include
really
following
rough.
staff recommendations.
Correct.
And I'm not making that motion, so we get to see it
The only thing that would be different with the staff recommendation would be if you want to put anything in there regarding the water situation. That'd be the only thing.
well, and you know, we came in palms up on that.
Yeah,
And that's why we're annexing it into the water district, is so they can get that water source.
And I feel like it kind of takes care of it because we are requiring that approval from the water and the sanitary.
It's their district.
I'm trying to think of through, and there's no, whoever buys that lot, I think it's just that one lot, they're not gonna have to have notice of anything, any sort of, I'll call it deficiency for lack of a better term, right? Because they're gonna get, does that make sense? They're gonna get water and sewer from.
Well, I'll step out. Now, this is not in the PUD, but the PUD, the way it works, and it's the example in that sanitary district, is the water is to your lot, but before you can get water, you put in your meter pit. So there's enough time in that process to give that notice.
I'm just trying to foresee any sort of problems, because this one lot is sort of unique, if that makes sense, I think.
Yeah, I think if I was buying it, I'd want to list that in the disclosure statement. That's one way to deal with it. But it is under the auspices of the sanitary district. I wish we started with an easier one, guys. The rest are pretty
gets
easy.
warmed up, so I don't pull a muscle on it.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
But I will say, I don't think a lot of things have changed from the layout plat, except we've got more specific information.
Any other questions? Motions?
Move to approve the preliminary and final plat following staff recommendation.
Okay. thanks. Anyone want a second?
Second.
Okay,
Are those
discussion?
the four conditions we were gonna put in it then?
Yeah, there would be actually like 6 conditions, but that's okay. And then the only one, like I said, do you want to add anything regarding the potable water? That's the only thing I didn't have.
No.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question? Ray, who's responsible for road maintenance? Is that included in the easement?
Yes, I'll put it with that a short answer, but it will be a combined effort between these landowners and the PUD.
Nothing to be addressed here, probably.
No, if you look at the PUD, they're responsible for all the roads within their body.
Yeah.
And this is in their body.
Okay.
Okay.
Good question.
Any other discussion?
And that condition improves the sign being approved by John Baker.
All the conditions that staff recommended, verbally and written. Presented, is what I understood.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
You had one.
Yeah, do roll call. Okay, Fuller,
Yes.
Tisdale.
Aye.
Whalen,
Yes.
Comer,
Aye.
Jennings.
Nay.
Ewing.
Aye.
Jenny was the name. Okay, thank you.
All right, final plat for KR Deer Mountain Club 2021, lots 87R, 88R.
You get overtime today.
No.
Thanks to you.
You're welcome.
So this one, owner is wishing to do a lot line adjustment between the two lots. These lots are being combined out of the original preliminary platted lot of Block A. Currently, no infrastructure on either lot. The revised preliminary plat of the Deer Mountain Village Block A was approved on July 11th, 2023. Access comes off of Terry Summit Road. Water is being provided by the Deer Mountain Water District to each lot, but they are going to have a septic. There was a bond previously in place for this block, but was approved to be released as all infrastructure, sewer, water, roads, related improvements or infrastructure had been done. It was released in November of 2024. Fire plan has been fully mitigated, and we received the final letter June 4th, 2024. Sent two of the final comments.
Mr. Chairman, we're going from 4 lots to 3. We're moving the lot line between 87 and 88, and we're eliminating lot 85 and combining it with lot 84. All the infrastructure is in place.
Any other questions?
See my note here on this one?
And fire plan is all done, it says.
Yep.
Move to approve, final.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, final plats. 2025-91. Number 4 on the agenda.
So basically, same thing as the last one. I think the only everything's pretty much the same on that one. Lot lines. Let's see. Yeah, 27 and 28. This one.
Correct.
But similar. I'm not going to reread it. Adjust the lot line. Go through all of that. There's 2 lots combined with that one. Yeah, there's really nothing different.
So this is making 2 lots into 2 lots.
And there's no preliminary plat on this one, just final.
Mhm.
So here's your lot line adjustment between the 2.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Goes from here to here.
So what happened is the grading for the home site on 27 is more preferred, moving that lot line between 27R and 28R to the north. And that easement that went through there, the reason that was dedicated was for future expansion of the sanitary district. But during construction, the sanitary district and the contractor moved that water line to this lot line where there's already an easement. There's 10 feet each side. So that's why we can vacate that easement too.
So that's going away as part of this.
And that's because that's where the pad will be. So small pad, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was not an access easement, it was only a utility easement to begin with, yeah. It
Okay.
wasn't the same situation.
Any other questions?
Move to approve the final plat.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, number 5. Repair Deer Mountain Road.
Go ahead, Randy, if you wanna.
Certainly. Well, this is a new lot. You've seen over the last year, we've reduced the total lot number by about 15. And now we are adding a lot. This is a nice building site. It's right above the tube run. It has all the infrastructure in place. And it's, since we combine so many lots, it's just an opportunity to have a new lot, another lot.
Like the only thing on this one is to keep in mind that these are the lots that you approved to have septic. And if you remember, we did that because the original PUD had really high density. They decreased the density that you allow them to have septic system on less than 2 acres, which is allowable in that PUD. So that's kind of, this is still larger than like the lots at Terry Peak, quite a bit. But it was part of that PUD because this was the original Mystic Minor stuff that was. what,
580 lots.
We went down to about 200, a little over. And so you allow them to keep that density all kind of in one area for a lot of septic.
And then we added 120 acres more to it.
Yeah, we added more acreage. But I'm gonna keep bringing that up because I know it's gonna, you guys are gonna forget sooner or later that you did allow septic systems on less than 2 acres in this subdivision.
I'll forget.
Yep. No, all of you will.
It gets worse. when you get older.
Already did. Today.
That's why I'm reminding you.
Forget what?
You guys are just a
So,
joy.
staff recommended approval of the preliminary and final plat as submitted.
Any other questions? Entertain a motion,
Motion to approve preliminary and final plat. as submitted.
Second.
discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, now 2025-93.
Thanks, guys
Yep.
and ladies.
Peeling
Hey,
this up.
These all go to county commission on the 9th. Yeah. Okay, this one. Oh, yeah. So this one is for Pete Lean and Sons Incorporated. The owners are wishing to subdivide the lot where Interstate 90 runs through the middle of the lot. This will allow for the transfer of ownership to the adjacent landowner to the east. There's no proposed development or further subdivision for this lot by the new owners. There was an engineer's memo of explanation included in the packet. The planning department is requesting no fire plan as there are no trees on the lot. So if you remember, we had made that change in the fire plan section, and I could tell you that this lot would be okay based on what we've seen in the past. So there, we would be requesting no fire plan on this one. When review of the property and the following is determined that a written fire plan report is not necessary, I just had Amy just pulled out exactly that section that allows me to request that, just so you would know what it is. So staff would recommend approval of the preliminary and final plat as submitted. We have allowed lots like this before because it's not their fault. I-90 runs through the middle of their lot. It actually helps because it gets platted versus just being a little leftover quarter description or something that makes it cleaner for sale. And especially because they would like to sell that to the neighboring landowner. So it just makes it where they can actually get a deed for it. So it follows, it's kind of an exception, but not really.
So what was,
I couldn't read what this was. What this said, what was this, these lines going
It's a
through here?
WDI gas.
There's a gas line.
gas line?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. 25 acres, 25.15 acres. And this is one of those,
It's right on the county line. Yes.
Yep.
yes, it is. Park forest, so a 25 acre lot in park forest would be allowed anyways. Just clean it up.
Okay,
Approve the preliminary and final.
second?
okay, discussion.
Wasn't the only, on the whole thing, there's no management plan in place. Is there plans for that?
I don't remember where that is. Dave gives you guys the. I don't know, that's up to you guys.
We would encourage the landowner to get a weed management plan for that.
Sure. You can certainly go under enforcement if there's ever a problem.
I believe. I'm gonna guess the neighboring landowner with them taking it over would update that.
Sure.
Maybe it would be the best way. Is that a good explanation? I think that would happen.
Right, and the main catalyst for them selling this off anyways, because they have no intent to mine only that portion, right? They've got a significant holdings to the south of the interstate, but they will someday mine. This, they have no intention because it's small enough, it would be hard for them to economically do it. The adjacent landowner in Meade County has expressed interest in purchasing and acquiring this property from them. They tried to prepare a deed to do that, that deed was rejected. So we've started the planning process so that they can transfer.
That is an interesting one on this one with the lead stuff because it's right on that line. We'll see what happens. I think you can suggest it. About the only thing that can probably happen.
Okay, any other questions, discussions? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign.
And just a roll call
Fuller?
then.
Tisdale,
Yes.
William, Comer,
Yay.
James.
Aye.
Ewing.
Aye.
Just a fuller minute, right?
Yep. Okay. Mountain
Thank you,
View
guys.
Ranches.
All right, so this one is the final plat of the preliminary that you approved last month, as well as the transfer of the, kind of the boundary of the Mountain View Ranches and Simon Construction, the Centennial Valley. So this is the final plat of that. It's just matching the preliminary that you just approved. So it changes the boundary lines of all of those.
Okay, this one is just the final.
Just the
plat.
final.
Do we need exemption?
Move to approve final.
Second.
Okay, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Preliminary and final plat for Kissick Water and Oil Service. And this one we have a preliminary and a final plat.
You guys saw a layout plan on this one, and I don't believe you had any concerns with that. If you remember, originally Heritage Hills was created, and there was some discussion about building a road system that goes all the way up into this area, but the terrain and stuff just wasn't compatible with it. So they platted it as one large piece. Now they're coming back to you since the road is in existence. So this is the road. It goes all the way down. It loops down around. So you meet all the road requirements. Also the fire plan stuff was done. They would like to put in driveways basically off of here to each of these lots now, instead of having the roads go all the way up into it. I don't think there's nothing in our ordinance says they can't. The road system's built. It is a loop road, which is what we had required them to do at the time. Now, as each of these come in, it's gonna be one of those things that the fire plan stated that we had them updated in April. And that was because they don't really know where the house is gonna be built. And at this time, that's gonna make the dependence. So if they build the house down here, it's gonna be fine. But if for some reason they decide to put a really long driveway in and build up here, they're gonna have to do additional work. So that was built into the fire plan, so it lays it out that way. And then as we issue building permits, we will have to keep track of that. Which is not unnormal, I guess. We have many properties like that.
It looks like it gets pretty steep up there.
It does. It's steep. That was why originally when they came in with the original stuff, it wasn't approved. And I can't imagine, I mean, somebody could want to build way up top, but the building sites are definitely down
Never
below.
know.
It'll be on their dime if they do.
So we just wanted to make sure that if they do choose to do that, we have the mechanism in place to say, well, then now you have to do a stricter fire plan.
Okay. Any other questions?
Move to approve the preliminary and the final.
Thank you.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay. MJ Legacy LLC.
This is a preliminary and final. Owner is wishing to combine the two lots into one. Property is currently zoned in the Plan Unit Development District of Powderhouse Pass / Wilderness Estates. This is one of those original portions of Powderhouse Pass, so that's why you still see it under Wilderness Estates. The residence is on one of the lots. There's full utilities to both lots. Roads to the area are in Powderhouse Pass in this area are already completed. There is a fire plan in place. Staff approves the preliminary and final plat.
Okay.
Combining two lots.
Motion to approve the preliminary and final plat.
Second.
Discussion?
So am I reading, looking at this right, that the former lot line, is that the current lot line, and we're expanding it out to this?
Yeah, you're combining two lots.
Right.
So it was lot 2,
Yeah, so is
lot
this-
7 and 8.
Was this not compliance for the setback?
It could have been,
So this would actually bring that into compliance.
yes. And it could be a very big reason why they purchased the neighboring lot.
That's a good plan.
Way better than a variance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, Dean Van Bakker.
We could have done this.
Yeah.
Didn't we just do Dean Van Bakken, or am I?
I'm a step ahead on the agenda here.
Slow down, can't keep up with it.
All right, so owner of lot 33A is purchasing land from the adjacent landowner to build a new garage. This will allow the new garage to meet all of the setbacks. There currently is a residence with infrastructure on the lot. The residence on the preliminary plat appears to be inside the setback, but it is not per surveyor. There is no infrastructure or improvement on lot 20A. Plat would be exempt from lot line revision. Staff recommends approval of preliminary and final.
So this will actually fix some problems too. Then.
Yeah.
This one will be exempt.
Do we need to say that?
Yes.
Vote on that?
You need to
Okay,
vote on it.
Motion and it's exempt.
Second.
discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries, it is exempt. Okay, and then on the preliminary and final
Motion
plat.
to approve preliminary and final plot.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Solve one problem.
Now I'm back to.
Now you're back on track.
Are we on schedule now?
Yeah.
Okay, when that happens.
And this one
2-bit
is,
LLC.
yeah, 2-bit LLC. Goodness, my buttons are. This one subdivision was created in 2005. It has a homeowners association, community water system, and an individual septic tanks. Owners wishing to final plat a lot of the subdivision. Subdivision has a fire plan within their covenants, which states that the developer of the lot must complete the fire mitigation. Keep in mind, 2005, we did not have the regulations that we have now, so it was allowable to do it this way. The lot will basically have mitigation done during the building process. States that the occupancy certificate will not be issued until a fire specialist has reviewed and a mitigation letter is received. That's kind of what we've been doing with these old ones, because usually when they go in, get the ground ready, cut the trees down, it usually ends up passing it because they need to put the house in that location. So we'll just have that prior to certificate of occupancy. Staff recommends approval of the final as it matches the preliminary, and then I would like to make a note as that they will have to do the fire specialist letter prior to the occupancy. So it's on file.
Any other questions?
Move to approve final plat.
Second,
I'll second.
discussion? All in favor, Amber, you have something?
Can,
Is the,
Contingent on.
is it contingent of, not a contingent, is it just?
It's a letter
A
of-
condition that the well, we don't want to condition the plat because it'll already be done. Just a note that the fire specialist letter will have to be done prior to occupancy.
Correct.
That's good.
The plat cannot be unapproved later.
Correct, yep.
Okay. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Anybody need a break?
Yeah.
Move on.
You only got one back.
All right, let's get it done. Power through it.
Wait,
That was supposed to be a joke.
Don't ask if you don't want an answer.
Oh, we're gonna have to get the lid on the key next time.
Yeah, no kid.
okay.
It is, yes.
Yep, so this is, a preliminary plat for track 2R and 3R. Mr. Nilsson passed away unexpectedly and they are trying to deal with his estate. There's multiple houses out there. They've always been that way. It's large acreage. So this one, they're looking at doing a lot line revision, giving track 3 additional acres. Tracks are surrounded by forests, the US government lands, and part of it is in the floodplain. Track 3 currently has infrastructure and residents on it. There's no change to the overall acreage of the existing subdivision. The plat is exempt for lot line revision. So a preliminary plat and final plat as submitted. We are gonna see probably some more with this, because we're trying to figure it out.
Can you run your cursor over the lot line? The old one, what we're
Yeah.
doing here?
We're actually changing.
Yeah, let me see if I can zoom in on it here a little bit.
The outside and the number of lots is staying the same though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, if you look here, so this was the water source, because they have a shared water line easement between the lots. There's a house that sits right here. You can kind of see that on here. So I think, let's see, I wonder if we go to the second page, you might be able to see it a little better. Where is it?
I don't see,
Actually, it's not on here.
I don't see the old.
You can in the, oh, over here. It should be in here. So you can see this right here. Here's the former lot line. This red dotted line comes up and over. That was where the house sat. So now they're going this green, kind of this, sorry, this blue. That's gonna be the boundary. Because it's adding, so that shed is getting included with the house now. That makes sense. So this was the old one. Here it went.
Okay.
It went like this and then came down and went like this. So it's a 123 acre tract, but they're adding 3.9. 3.29 is what this new one will be. So it used to be long and skinny. And
It must
now
have-
it kind of goes out around.
And that must have been a pretty small lot then, the way
It was.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
just it's a little rectangular lot there.
Yeah, so you can kind of see that in here.
Yep.
So I don't know if that helps. You can.
That was very helpful.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
can see that red line here. And there's, they're trying to set this up for dealing with the estate,
Mhm.
because there's multiple houses on it.
Any other questions? To approve or deny. Go ahead.
Motion approved, motion
Exactly.
that it's exempt.
Yes.
Okay,
Second.
discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Lot is exempt.
Motion approved the preliminary and the final.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries. You did like to do the rest.
I'm going.
Okay,
You could have just finished the meeting.
well, he was starting to dance.
He was moving quite a bit over there.
There was gonna be an accident if you didn't stop.
I don't want anybody.
I think it's best.
We don't want anybody to be uncomfortable.
Sure.
Does anybody have any items from the planning and zoning board they want to talk about with TJ's gone?
TJ.
I'll just turn the faucet on, see if that helps.
I have nothing.
Nothing.
All right. then.
Let's go to, we can come back to that. And is there anybody in the public that has any comments? Nothing? Okay, next meeting, Thursday, December 4th at 1:30. That is today.
That's today.
January 8th.
Yep.
January 8th. Well, nope, it won't. Mine says January 8th.
Really?
This one say Thursday, December 4th.
I'm gonna say,
Oh, well.
Amy, we're gonna blame that on you. You didn't really put the agendas. It's all right. Oh, she left off.
That would be the response, yeah.
Is that actually the second Thursday? How's it on
It is the second.
It's a holiday.
The first is a holiday.
On a Thursday, yeah.
So we just moved it to the second.
Okay. Anybody else have any other things to talk about? TJ, do you have any items from the planning and zoning
I don't
board?
have anything to add.
All right,